Thank you one and all for being here. This is Sonia, the Oracle, the Prophet, and the Emissary for the Cosmos Prize. And I am going to be sharing some prophetic visions that I've been receiving over the last 10, 11 years about our Ascension cycle. So I have been reluctant to share this message up until now. I didn't have anything to give you as a solution. So now that I do, now that the Christ codes have been birthed, I want to put out this message about our 2026 impending ascension. First off, I'd like to clear up some misconceptions about the ascension. A lot of us believe that we're going to leave the planet. Well, that's not necessarily true. Ascension is a matter of consciousness. We are raising our consciousness to embody the whole body that we are. And I was given a vision by Divine Mother back in 1998 of the whole creation. I have an image here, which is not exactly what she showed me on the inner, but this comes close to it. And in the image, it was a spider's web, just like this. And there was, the creation was like a spider itself. It had 8 arms, and each arm held 4 universes and 4 parallel universes. So each arm of the, each arm had 8 universes on it, 4 regular and 4 parallel, for a total of 64 universes. And she showed me that the soul is birthed out of the heart womb of Mother Sophia herself. And so just to clarify that, I have been shown that that all creation is birthed out of the divine feminine. So I call all that is God, Goddess, essence, Sophia. So for purposes of our gathering, I'm going to refer to her as Sophia. So all form, all life is birthed out of the black womb space of Mother Sophia. And we are born as a soul into multiple life forms simultaneously. And so I'm going to show you this next image. Let's see. And so we are born out into the field. And so this web of life right here is all the souls connected to Sophia through their soul's cord. But it's the soul's silver cord. It's almost like an umbilical cord. And all life is connected to her heart womb through their cord of life. So we are sent out into the creation. And you could say that this section right here would be your soul being born out into the field, and that all these lines in here are your multiple life streams within that soul embodiment. And so that's just kind of an example of what she was showing me. And so when we are birthed out into the field, we don't remember who we are, that we came from source. We have amnesia. And so it's our task to reawaken to the one body that we are part of. And that one body is the body of Christ. So in the universe's picture that she was showing me, that is the one body. And our task in each life is to wake up to the larger body that we are part of. And so that is raising our consciousness is basically the first step in ascension. And then the second step in ascension is to create a living legacy, a contribution to Mother Earth, so that you can leave something behind for the rest of humanity. Not only for humanity, but for the rest of creation. And so as a soul, we are given a specific soul mission, you might say, that we are encoded with in our divine genetics. And those genes are silent until we wake them up, until they're activated. And so the Christ codes is really what is going to help you that's one way to start activating your divine genetic blueprint. So once we have an enduring legacy that we can leave for the rest of creation, then we have the choice to ascend as living masters, taking our body, all of our body with us, and become points of light. So here's an example of that. She was showing me, now this is more points of light than she had actually showed me, but it's like as each cross section, there was a point of light. And those points of light were souls that had reawakened their consciousness and then were sent out into the field to be co-creators and representatives of Sophia Source. So we understand that as the Ascended Masters, they can come and go throughout this web of life and interact with us and help us on our ascension path, because they've already basically accomplished that in their own lifetime. So that's the third stage of ascension. The spider in ancient Egypt signified Divine Mother, and the web was the spirit of creation itself. So it's very profound that she gave me that imagery of herself when she was showing me the blueprint of creation. Just to give you a little history of how I started receiving prophetic visions, my gift in life has been my dreams. I apparently came in with the soul's contract that I was going to receive all my knowledge and information through my dreams. That's been my lifelong journey, is to understand my dreams. And in 1980, when I joined my first teacher on the spiritual path, I started receiving really profound dreams that I didn't understand and he didn't understand even. 17, 18 years later, when I left that path, I was going through my dream journals because I was needing direction as to where I was going to go next in my soul's journey, my next evolutionary step of awakening. And as I was reviewing my dreams, I realized that my dreams were now coming true, that they were prophetic dreams. And so that's when I first became aware that I was a prophetic dreamer. And so then in 2005, I found another spiritual teacher and I started studying with the Ascended Masters and archetypal knowledge. In 2005, I received a vision of the Gulf Stream, and I saw this like liquid earth flowing out of the Texas, Louisiana area into the Gulf. And at the time, I didn't know what I was receiving. I didn't know what it meant. Because I didn't know what it meant, I didn't pray about it. I didn't mediate for it. I really didn't do anything. And so when Katrina happened in 2005, I realized, oh my God, I saw what was going to happen before it happened. I just didn't know that it was a hurricane and that it was Katrina. That's when I first started receiving visions of cataclysmic events. Then in 2008, I moved to Mount Shasta and I started working with the Soul Group, doing mediation work, preparing for Mother Earth's Ascension. On July 28th of 2016, I was shown, along with the group I was working with, that we needed more time for our ascension. We actually were supposed to ascend in 2012, and there wasn't enough people ready to make that ascension. And so we were given a deferment. And then in 2016, another deferment was given. What I saw was that a wave of energy was moving towards the Earth from the cosmos, and that it was going to create great cataclysms on the Earth. What we were shown is that this energetic shield was put up by the Christ and the archangels, and they were delaying this wave. The wave was they couldn't stop the wave because the wave is part of a greater ascension cycle. So we're all ascending. All that is ascending back to the one source, which is Sophia. So we have individual ascension, we have planetary ascension, we have solar, galactic, and universal ascension cycles. And so we're part of a greater rhythm of energy. So there's only so much leeway that they can give us for our ascension. What I saw was that this shield was being put up to delay the wave. So the wave is coming. And at that point, I didn't know how much time we had. But then on Mother's Day, the following year, May 17th, 2017, I received another dream vision, which actually gave me the date. I am not going to tell you what the exact date is because that is too much pressure to put on you or to put on anyone. But what I can say is that I would strongly suggest that you have yourself together by the end of 2025, because 2026, as far as I've been shown, is the year that we're going to go through our ascension cycle. Christ codes basically are going to provide you everything you need to prepare for your ascension. And there's 3 stages of the Christ codes. And one is, if you've been with me before, one is like the spiritual engine, it's the mantra. Christ code mantra is the spiritual engine to really kind of begin to anchor you with the Christ energy and clear your field so that you can have some clarity. Because in the reality that we're living in right now, we have all this interference happening. We're basically radio stations, and so with the advent of satellite and television and radio, we're all being bombarded with thought forms on a continuous basis. And the thought forms that are being put out on the stations are all ones that are trying to control us and keep us locked into the 3rd dimension, chaos, fear, separation. My way is better than your way, it's my way or the highway kind of consciousness. And so when we're constantly being bombarded with information that is not supporting our ascension cycle, our awakening process, we need something to cut those cords and clear the field for us. So that's what the mantra does. And I just wanted to share a couple of experiences I had this month, in my own experience of trying to move into my own life and affect me. I have been working 24/7 on trying to get the Christ codes out to humanity. And I just had a day where I just needed to just put all the work away and just sit down and have some humor in my life. So I decided bad choice, I decided to turn on, live stream some comedian show, Last Man Standing, and apparently it has a lot of political innuendo in it. So there was a lot of comedy around the president and the state of the nation and that kind of stuff. And as I'm sitting there, I started getting telepathies that I should, mind you, I should be doing more things, being more active in the world and political stuff and this and that. And then I said, oh, no. This is not my thought forms I'm receiving right now. This are thought forms that are being broadcasted through this station. So that was very interesting. I mean, I've been aware of this for a long time, but I don't watch television for the most part. It just tuned me into the kind of telepathies that are being put out there on the radio waves for people to get pulled into the dynamics. And the other thing that happened was I have a lot of light worker friends that are plugged into the star nations, and they're all waiting for the star beings to intercede and to make themselves known so that more of humanity will wake up. And my information is like, nobody can really intercede for us. We're the ones that have to do the waking up. And it's our responsibility to wake up, and they can kind of assist in things on the inner, and they can help. Hey, Jack. That's Jack the cat. And they can assist us in ways that don't interfere with our free will. But a lot of humanity is not ready for that revelation. And so I don't see the star beings coming until we get to the actual ascension cycle, where they will come in and help transport some of their teams off the planet, and other beings will come in and actually ransack the planet. And because there are beings that aren't working on a positive note out in the cosmos, less conscious forms of intelligence, but that they're highly developed in terms of their technology. And then I have other light workers who they have these, humanitarian projects that they want to fund, and there's sources on the planet that are apparently giving out funds. There's been funds that have been collected for 20 or more years, 50 or more years, and they're to be released to humanity. And I sat on that boat for, 10, 15 years maybe, hoping for that money to come in and help us. And I finally said to myself, no one's going to help me unless I do it. So I just stopped playing that game. And when I stopped playing that game is when I received the Christ code. So someone sent me something, and I listened to a few minutes of it, and I didn't even know what they were talking about because I'm not up on the news. But what came in, it felt like my heart was being suffocated by the energy that was coming through this message. And I could see how people lose heart, because when an energy is being projected at you like that and it's suffocating your heart, then you lose your hope, you lose your faith, you lose trust that something greater can happen. So I encourage you not to get plugged into those media forms, and to really align yourself with something that is going to truly support you, like the Christ codes. The second level of the Christ codes is working with your chakras, because if you want to bring in a new level of consciousness and coalesce all those life forms that I was talking about. So just look at this one arm as being all your life forms right here. You have mastered certain levels of consciousness in each one of those life streams. And as an ascended master, moving towards an ascended master, you want to coalesce all that mastery into one body, into one mind, and then be able to ascend with your Akashic records to have that available to you as an ascended master. So we have to clear the field. We have to, as Jesus said, you can't put new wine into old skins because it'll sour the wine. And the same here, if you don't clear out all the karmic debris and the emotional trauma clots and all the things that are stuck in your four bodies, then the Christ energy can't successfully integrate and anchor into your body, because Ascension is all about descending, coming into full embodiment of the Christ energy that you are as the one body of Christ. We are a holographic blueprint of the original blueprint that Sophia created in the original creation. And so we are our holographic images or blueprints, fingerprints, you might say, of that original blueprint. When we come into a full conscious awareness of the one body as Sophia Christ consciousness, then we can ascend, and we can ascend. So that is basically my message. Let's see what else let me see what else would like to be shared today. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about Mother Earth's ascension, because she's ascending as well. So as I was saying earlier, there's individual ascensions, there's planetary, solar, etc. And it's a rare opportunity for us to ascend with the planet. Usually our ascension is just an individual experience, but in this particular cycle that we're moving into in 2026, we have the opportunity to ascend with the planet. And so basically her journey is very similar to ours. She also is building a fifth dimensional light body. And I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but as we embody the Christ and activate our divine genetic blueprint, we start downloading, you might say, diamond light energy, which then flows down into our cells of our body and transforms our cells into diamond light. When I started receiving the Christ codes, I actually saw these rays, beautiful rainbow blue rays of light, just like the sun rays, coming into my body and transforming my cells into diamond light. And as that was happening, I saw what looked like oil squirting out of me. So we are, in our third dimensional reality, we are basically, the main element is carbon. And the atomic number for carbon is 666. And so that's the carbon-12 atom. We are basically transforming a very dense body, carbon-based body, into a crystalline light body, which is much lighter, and it vibrates at a higher vibrational rate. And so that is happening for us, and it's also happening for Mother Gaia. And so you might even say the oil that we use to power our planet is really her own ascension process of discarding, getting rid of the oil, her carbon-based body, and transforming into a body of light. So that is a kind of a similar correlation that between our two bodies. So basically, as Mother starts vibrating at a higher vibration, she is going to divide as a cell, you might say. The old body is gonna split off from the new crystalline light body. And all the people who have not raised their vibration to ascend are going to go with the old earth. And that old earth is the cataclysmic pictures that I was seeing. That's the wave of energy that's coming. And for those that are still locked into third dimensional reality, into vibrating a very dense frequency, a third dimensional frequency, that's their future. And then those of us who are vibrating at the higher vibration, who can match our frequency with Mother, her fifth dimensional light body, we will ascend with her into the sun. And so ascension is always going back to the sun, which is your source of light for your particular embodiment. So within each of our hearts is a sacred atom, which is a living sun. And within the earth, there is a living sun. And of course, the sun is our direct connection to Sophia. So all the Christ energy moves from Sophia's source womb out into the universe, galaxies, solar system, into Earth, and then into our individual bodies through our sun, through the sun within us. So anyway, I have been shown my ascension is basically different. So there's different ways to ascend. When you ascend, you have the choice to come back to Earth. Now, I've been shown that I'm a bodhisattva, and a bodhisattva is someone who has made a vow to come back and reincarnate on Earth until all of humanity has ascended. And apparently I have made that vow. And so when I've been shown ascension, I'm actually being sent inside of the earth, and the earth is going to have to go through an 80 to 100-year cleansing cycle after the cataclysms happened, for her to re-purify herself, for new life forms to be able to embody her. There'll be some people that will be able to, apparently, I don't know, with the picture I've gotten is that there's 10 to 15% of the population is going to make it through that cycle. And so what the Christ codes are here to do is to give us more of a fighting chance, you might say, so that more of us can ascend with Mother Gaia. And so I'm hoping that if the word gets out and the Christ codes can be put into use by hundreds and thousands of people, that we as an activated part of society, a part of humanity, can then help to activate other beings. So this is how it works. Once you become activated, you start activating other people just by being in their presence. So the fact that you're on this call here today and listening to me, you are being activated, whether you know it or not, by the frequency that I carry. I'm carrying the Christ energy in me through the Christ codes. And my voice, my energetic field itself is resonating that frequency. And so people that I come into contact with are being activated. And if you're actively involved in that activation, then of course that activation is going to happen faster. So that's kind of the story from this end. I don't really want to talk about the story from the other end of the planet itself, because there's a lot of pictures out there that I've seen, but I can only speak from my own experience and what I've been shown what's going to happen to me, and I don't want to project for the planet itself. There's other, this is part of a bigger cycle, and the cellular division that is happening for Mother Earth and even for ourselves can happen on solar, galactic, and universal levels as well. So this is a very big picture, and so that's as far as I can take it today. If you would like to explore the codes, get more information about the codes, you can go to christcodes.com, which is my general website for information about me, about the mission. And if you want to actually get the codes, I'm giving a free gift of the mantra. You can go to my online learning center, which is christcodes.org. If you're interested in reading my story of awakening, you can find my book at Journey Through the Soul at my sister website, cosmicdreamreading.com. That's pretty much it on that level. Okay, have a blessed Sunday, Mother's Day. It's not a Mother's Day, but to me, Sunday is a Mother's Day. Doesn't it feel like a Mother's Day to you? Anyway, bless you all. Have a great day.